This week marked a milestone, chemo number 4, halfway for me. My veins have been putting up a little bit of a protest lately, bruised and stubborn from the treatment. It's made giving blood and finding a cannula site more difficult than you'd think. So next time they're fitting a PICC line, a small step forward to making the rest of the journey a little bit smoother. The nausea's steadied, the foggy days still drift in, but they're gentler now. I tell you what, steroids have their perks too. Not just for getting through weekends of workshops and being able to be a little bit brighter and perkier, but for those satisfying studio tidies. You know, the kind when the paper scraps are absolutely everywhere, paint tubes have lost their tops, brushes are in every pot imaginable. But with a little tidy, it all ends up on the right shelf, in the right pot, in the right drawer, and there's something sacred about it. Clearing space to invite the next idea in. And the next lot of mess, of course. Ooch does a thorough spider patrol before I begin. No artistic session is safe until she's done her rounds. One of my sketching projects this week began with a view I've loved for years, the old stocking factory in Tewkesbury. Around the back of the stocking factory, it gives way to its history, where there's really large warehouse windows and a beautiful proud line of chimneys and leaning aerials that kind of scratch the sky like musical notes. There's something in the rhythm of the rooftops, the way the light catches on the tiles and the way the birds weave in and out and scatter like loose thoughts. I started sketching, just observing, but then a rooftop bath bubbled into the picture. It wasn't part of the plan, it just arrived, a tiny escape among the chimneys, and the birds kept coming, stirring up stories like memory bubbles floating just out of reach. The sketch softened into something dreamlike, still rooted in a real place. I love it when you can anchor a story into reality, into history. It gives you somewhere to come back to if things go a little askew. This one wandered a little sideways, but into something quieter, something gentle. And that's the magic of this practice, to observe quietly but to create wildly.
I heard you say you found the story all tucked away in the back of the room. Been lost for years, far away from the glory, in the midst of our day-to-day routine, in the corner of our mind.
I also had a visit from Mike and Louise from Tewkesbury Cards and Gifts. They've stocked my work since the early days of being a professional artist and always are full of kind words and encouragement. They surprised me with daffodils and tulips like spring itself had popped in for tea. And a vase in the shape of a book, The Secret Garden, of course, just right for my little studio library. There's something lovely about a growing library. Sometimes it's a companion, sometimes it's a seed of an idea, and sometimes it's a technical clue as to what you might want to experiment with. Invites you in to discover that. I'll share a few more favourites with you soon. Thanks for being here, for watching, for sharing the quiet and the colour with me. Until next time, go gently, create wildly.
I heard you say you found the story all tucked away in the back of the room. Been lost for years, far away from the glory, in the midst of our day-to-day routine, in the corner of our minds. We're not in blue, takes more